Good morning, eighth grade U.S. history students. Wanted to show you about a really cool thing we're doing today, which is a Museum Day virtual field trip, and we are going to the Museum of Monticello. Monticello is the home of Thomas Jefferson, who wrote the Declaration of Independence, and they have a really cool exhibit about the paradox of liberty because they have really excellent information about the enslaved families that lived there. And so we're going to be moving around this virtual exhibit and then adding interesting things you find, links to videos, screenshots that you take, maybe quotes or your own impressions or thoughts onto this Padlet below. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. Real quickly, I just want to remind us about our learning target. This week, I can give feedback to my teachers about how well they develop the central idea of the presentation that we make together. So we're making a presentation this week about what it was like for enslaved people during the time of independence, when the Revolutionary War was won and the United States was independent and setting up its own government separate from England. Okay, so here's your instructions for the day. Read through all of those. There's some reminders about coming to the Zoom. There's also information here about your vocab that you should be studying using your flashcards here and the content diary here. But what I wanted to show you in this video is how to access and move around this museum, this virtual museum exhibit. So you're just going to click here on the museum, and it's going to take you to this website here. Once you click on it, it'll take you inside. This first kind of landing page doesn't have a whole lot of interactive stuff, but it's kind of nice because it shows you, like, there's some videos here, and I would encourage you to watch. This one is good. And there's some good text here. If you want to zoom in, you can use these little zoom in features. I will tell you that the navigation stuff is a little bit like glitchy. So if you click and like drag down, it kind of drags you to where you want to go, which on this page isn't too hard. But when we get to the rooms on the next page, it gets a little bit more tricky to move around. So just know that you kind of like click and drag a little bit. Also, this image right here is the Declaration of Independence with Thomas Jefferson's edits, where he had originally included an idea that slavery was bad and that it should be abolished in the new country, but they ended up taking it out because slavery was just too important to the people in power at that time. And so we're going to look at the impact of that today. Okay, so after you watch some of these videos, I want you to notice this little arrow down here. When you see an arrow in this museum exhibit, you're going to want to click on that to go to the next place. And you'll notice over here we went from the first opening page down to families. And what's so cool about this exhibit is that it highlights four, or like actually a couple more, but 4 or 5 like main families that were enslaved on the plantation of Monticello. And so what you do is when you get to a room like this, you just start clicking on stuff. And so you can click here and you can zoom in. And it's kind of interesting. You can see this is the Gillette family, and these are their descendants. And these were a family of enslaved people that lived on Monticello. Just as like an aside, it might be kind of interesting to put this on the Padlet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this. It looks different when I take a screenshot because I'm not on a Chromebook, but I'll include information about how to add stuff to how to take a screenshot on a Chromebook. But I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to my Canvas page. And so let's say I found an image that I wanted to share. And so now I'm going to hit plus right here. It's probably going to make you log in, but I'm already logged in. And so it's going to let me post. And so I'm going to say family tree of enslaved family. And then when I click down here, I just click paste. And Padlet's smart enough that it's going to It's going to realize that I'm pasting an image, and then I can add a caption. I thought it was interesting to see the family and their descendants. And then I'm going to hit publish. And so now it's got my first post here on this place. While we're in here, though, and talking about posting, let's say that we wanted to we wanted to post like this video instead. So I really like this video. You should include part of it in the presentation. What you're going to do is you're going to click share, and you're going to copy this link right here. Whoops. Control copy. And then you're going to go back and hit plus, and you're just going to hit, you're just going to hit paste. And Padlet is smart enough that it knows that you're trying to paste a video. And so then we're going to say, I thought this was, actually, maybe for the title, I'll just say Sally Hemings, something. Anyway, I'm not going to publish this one because I haven't watched, I don't remember exactly what it says. But then you would just hit publish, and it would post that video. Okay. So last couple of notes about how to move around here. Once you're in one of the rooms like this, you can kind of drag slowly. Just a little bit, takes you a long ways. What I found is that I end up looking at the ceiling a bunch, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm looking at the ceiling. And so you can just kind of slowly drag, like little drags go a long way. If you see one of these arrows on the ground, that can take you to where you want to go. But also try and get close to some of these exhibits here and zoom in, because you can see some of the tools that were found at the site, and then you can click on it and it'll show you what you're looking at, which can be really cool to kind of see what they've found about these families. I think what I was really especially interested in was to see how skilled a number of these families were at either like as a blacksmith, or I think this family over here, the Fawcett family, was a blacksmith, and so it talks a little bit about that here, like all the skills that he had. And I think this one was a really good video because it talks about the lengths that he went. Joseph Fawcett's dedication to his family and his efforts to secure their freedom. This is a really cool video. Actually, I'm gonna link this one because I remember this one. So I'm gonna click on here. Here's how you link it. So I'm gonna do copy, and I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna hit paste, and I'm gonna say video about, or I'll say Joseph Fawcett attempts to free his family. That really shows you what the experience was like, how the dedication that it took. Even after he himself was freed, he stayed on the plantation and worked to gain his wife and his children's freedom as well, which is just like so interesting to think about and so tragic. Okay, so after we've posted some things here, feel free to like the things that you think should make it into our presentation. Feel free to add comments as well. As a reminder, make sure you're using really kind words and being thoughtful about what you post. This is a public shared space, and we want to make sure that it feels safe to discuss a really challenging topic. So thanks very much for your efforts on that front. Have a wonderful time exploring.